A couple of weeks ago, and my wife and I were like dead asleep in the middle of the night, completely asleep, and all of a sudden I was woken up like someone had thrown a bucket of water on me. Right? So I just like woke up. I said, someone's in the house, and then I just ran to the back of our kitchen, and our wallets and Lauren's bag's gone, right? So we're like, oh, well, that sucks. So we called the police, and they came, because supposedly this had happened over and over and over for a long time with different houses and stuff in the area. And sniffer dogs and everything, off they went. But we prayed and stuff, and then went to bed, and woke up the next morning, and I still had that feeling there, right? And Lauren says to me, you're going to find the stuff. And I'm like, what? And she's like, just go for a walk. And I was like, yeah, maybe I should. And so I get up and I go outside and I start walking around, and I was starting to think about work and what I had to do. And then I noticed myself that I was actually like praise and worshiping, like I was singing a worship song, and that's even weirder for me, right, in the middle of the street. And I was singing this song over and over, and I didn't even know that I was doing it, right? And I was just walking along, and then I just was getting smashed by God. Like I was like, no, I started crying, and I was like, man, what is going on? And I was singing this song, and I'm like, man, what? And then God's just, and I had total peace, like I wasn't freaking out or anything. I was just walking along, and God's just like, turn left. So I'm just walking along, and I just turn left, and God's go up that way. So I'm like crying and singing. I'm like, man, what is happening? So I start walking along, walk all around, and I'm ages away from my house, right? And I hadn't been gone long. I just walked straight there, no drama. Walk down, I look down, and on the ground, on the footpath, is like this little, you know, the ticket that you get when you take your kid to creche. Well, for some strange reason, we still had the ticket, right? Well, it must have been in Lauren's wallet. And there it is, on the middle of the footpath. And so I just stop and pick this thing up and look at it like this, and like looking around, and I'm still crying and singing and losing it. And now especially that I've got this thing. Anyway, I look around, and I just see this house, which was further down, like not where the thing was. I just see this house at these steps, and I go and I sit on these steps, and there's two socks, right? And there's two socks on these steps, and I'm sitting, and then I realise that I'm sitting in the same spot where this dude was, right? Who'd obviously been in my house. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like crying and God's touching me. I'm like, man, what's going on? 15 years ago, it probably would have been on the other foot, right? Like it would have been the roles reversed. So I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking. And then I just look in these bushes, like next to where I was sitting, and I find my wife's keys. And then that really freaks me out. And then I look across the other way and sort of just down a little bit, and I'm not talking looking, I'm just talking go straight to it, and then pick up like her peppermint tea bags that was in a bag and stuff, right? And I start finding all this stuff all around the place, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on, right? And then. And then I walk out of this house, right? And then I'm walking along, and then I go straight into this next house, but there's a hedge out the front, and I just walk straight into this hedge and part the hedge, and my wife's bag is dead set in the middle of the hedge, right? All scrumpled up and stuff, because my wife was just like, get my keys, get my bag. As I was walking out, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Walk straight in, grab the bag. And then, so I'm like, wow, that is just full on. I'm still crying stuff. I'm really tripping out. And then I'm like, God, what about my wallet then? And so my faith is sort of starting to build. I'm like, well, where's my wallet? This is awesome. So I start walking along, and like it was garbage bin day, so there's all wheelie bins all out. So like I didn't know which way to walk or anything. God was just like saying, just go that way. So I just was walking along, and I can see the garbage truck coming. Right? I'm not exaggerating. I can see the garbage truck coming. I'm like, where's my wallet, God? And I'm walking along, and I'm like, it's in one of these bins. And then I'm walking along. I didn't open one of them, and then he just goes, that one. Bang. Opened it up. My wallet's in the bin. No mucking around, man. Not lying. So then I'm like, what else is there around here? So I dead set, I started walking along, and he'd just go boom, in there, and I opened up, and there's not my stuff, someone's cash tin in underneath some tree. Walking along, I found all this stuff, Right? So anyway, so I was like a mess with God. I was like losing, I was crying, I was all over the shop. So I come home with all this stuff, and Lauren's like, how'd you go? Like that. I was like, oh, you won't believe. I was like, you won't believe what's happened to me. But like, I was just so pumped up. I went to work, and I was telling people at work, I was like, this happened. This happened. I just said, I don't care what you I was like, I don't care what you think, I don't care how crazy you think I am, man, this happened. So
Yay!